Ooh, welcome everyone to another episode of Slasher Scotty. I am your host, Scotty McCoy, and boy, do I have a surprise for all of you. I have on Zoom with me right now Angel Bradford, and she played Amber in The House That Eats Flesh, and she will also be doing the SFX for the Naughty List. Hey, Angel, how are you doing?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm so glad to have you on. I mean, we had a couple days planned and things just kept getting postponed, and we're finally here.
Yes, very happy to be here.
I'm so glad to have you here. I know I heard amazing things about your SFX work, and I'm just so grateful to have you on to discuss that and discuss The House That Eats Flesh. And it's going to be a good interview.
Yes, heck
Yes,
yeah.
awesome. So the first question I have for you is, how did you get your start into acting, and what about special effects?
Well, so I actually got into acting through my SFX.
Hmm.
I've always been interested, in horror and
Hmm.
makeup and um, sorry, hold on, my husband.
No
But
problem.
I've always, you know, been interested in makeup, and I started kind of self teaching myself
Hmm.
in high school in 10th grade.
Okay.
Um, and I ended up, going into the military and, deciding to take things a different way with my
Nice.
future. But, life happens all the time and
Hmm.
things change. And COVID ended up happening.
Hmm.
And that's when I had the time to really start practicing more of my makeup skills and
Yeah.
sharing them on Facebook, and people started noticing.
Yeah.
And the first person who asked me to do makeup was Brad Thomason on the film Backwoods Bubba.
Nice.
And the first movie I was asked to act in was Slumber Party Slaughter Party 2 by Dwayne Etheridge.
Awesome.
Um,
Awesome.
yeah, he had messaged me, Dwayne had messaged me, asking if I could do makeup for the movie and
Hmm.
also if I could read as an understudy
Nice.
for one of the roles. And he ended up making me the lead in that film.
That's
And it
awesome.
just, yeah, kind of snowballed from there.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, how did you happen to get involved with The House That Eats Flesh?
Josh Graves had messaged me asking if I could do makeup. And I had mentioned to him that I was interested in acting in it as well.
Nice, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I had Josh on. We discussed The House That Eats Flesh, and we also spoke a little bit about his two other films he has coming on after that, similar to the House That Eats Flesh, and we were just talking about that. And he seems like a really nice guy. And I know they're filming down in North Carolina. Did you start filming that yet?
yes, we're actually done filming The House That
Nice.
Eats Flesh.
Awesome, awesome.
Mhm.
So go ahead. Okay, so yeah, for those unaware, can you let us know what the House That Eats Flesh is about? Kind of give us a little brief synopsis about it.
Yeah, basically, you have a group of friends who are meeting for like a reunion
Right.
at this house that's has some morbid history.
Hmm.
Lisa Wilcox plays mother in it, and
Nice.
she did amazing.
Nice.
It was great meeting her and everything. She plays, a very cunning, villain.
Nice.
And yeah, so basically, you got a killer, you got supernatural elements in it, you
Right.
got a little bit of everything.
Nice. So is it more of a slasher or more of like a psychological thriller or like a supernatural
It's
suspense?
like I would say more psychological kind of,
Okay.
and slasher for sure. We have
Nice.
so much blood, so much blood.
Nice.
But there is that kind of psychological element that you're like, whoa, like,
Right.
how did this happen?
Right. So what is the most challenging part like being an indie actress, and what about the most challenging part of doing SFX?
um, I would say the hardest part about SFX is honestly just kind of keeping up with all the trends of,
Yeah.
makeup and how to do it quickly. Speed
Yeah.
is, definitely a factor in doing makeup, and you have
Right.
to be able to, do a great job and,
Right. So it's not
a
just like doing it
short amount of
like you have
time.
to do it fast, but you also have to make it look good and real as well. Yeah.
Yes. And the hardest part about being an actress, I would say, honestly, is delving into myself for all these different roles.
Hmm.
It's you have to face different parts of yourself,
Yeah.
kind of for every role that you play.
Yeah.
Um, and that can be, sometimes that can be a little tough. You can
Right.
have a role that'll take you to dark places.
Right. Did you ever like dive into like method acting or character acting at all?
Yeah, actually, sometimes,
Hmm.
like I love going to, like cons in the area and like
Right.
cosplaying and
Nice.
stuff. But yeah, method acting is something that I'm still, learning, and
Okay.
um, yeah, sometimes I just wing it. It's
Right.
yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So, like, what horror film actually got you to want to be involved with acting in SFX? Where did it all start?
Mm. Well, my favorite like horror movie ever is Amityville 2, The
Nice.
Possession.
Nice. It's a good one.
And yeah, and the way that that was just filmed, and the makeup and everything was
Mhm.
just so fascinating to me.
Right.
And then after that came Creepshow. I love
Nice.
Creepshow, huge
Yeah.
fan.
Nice.
Um, and yeah, so like I'm definitely more into older horror films. There are some newer ones that have come out in, like the past 10 years or so that I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cool. Like I
Nice.
like it. But I definitely prefer, 70s, 80s
Nice. Nice.
horror.
Nice. So, I guess without giving away too many details, like, what can the viewing audience expect from you in the house that eats flesh?
Mhm. A lot of screaming.
That's probably the best part about being in a horror movie is the screaming and the blood.
Yes, yes. And definitely a lot of blood.
Nice,
Ariel Stafford and I, both did the makeup on that.
nice.
So, whenever you see blood, you'll definitely be like, wow, that's
That's awesome. So like going back to your horror movies and that, which movies currently are your favorite horror film or franchises? I know you mentioned the Amityville 2 and Creepshow. Are they like your top favorites, or is there others? Or
those are my top favorites. I also like The Hills Have Eyes.
nice. I had Michael Berryman on my
Um,
show. He's a great guy.
yeah, see, I like he's such a I loved him also in Rob Zombie's
Hmm.
film Devil's Rejects.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, no, I would love to meet him one day. I don't know if he
nice.
still does, cons or anything, but
Right. Nice.
um, yeah. The
Awesome.
Hills Have
So,
Eyes. No,
that's
I love vampire movies.
yeah.
I'm actually a huge fan of creature features.
Nice.
Like,
Absolutely. Did you look into Mark Cantu's Wolf Hollow?
yes, yep,
Nice.
yeah,
I
I'm
can't wait for that
excited.
one.
All his castings and yeah, for that
Yeah.
are like on point.
Absolutely. He's a great guy, good friend of mine, and he's definitely got some good stuff going on. I know Massacre Academy was a big hit, and I can't wait to see what he does with Wolf Hollow as well. That's gonna be pretty cool. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so the last question I got for you, do you have any other films or projects in the works that you would like to promote to the listening and the viewing audience?
Oh gosh, yes. The Hixorcist, which is something that I'm currently working on. I'm
Nice.
gonna be done filming that in a couple weeks.
Awesome.
Witch on a Walker is another big project that I'll be working on with Jeff Kaczmarski.
Hmm.
Um, there's a lot.
Well,
Night of the Axe
then,
will be
yep.
coming out soon. That's by Sean Wright.
Yep. I think wasn't Amanda
Um,
Megan in that as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
I love her.
Yeah, she's
She's
great. I
great.
went to high school with her. She's a good, very, very good friend of mine. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Um, there's an Ed Gein film that I'm going to be a
Nice.
part of in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Hellfire by Jeremy Sumrall.
Nice.
The Naughty List, Michael Taylor.
Yep. Good friend of mine. Him and Noelle Berger. Amazing people.
Yes. Um, and yeah, right now that's kind of what's coming to the top of my head.
Absolutely. And if you missed anything, or if you have anything, if somebody's watching this a year from now and they want to see what Angel Bradford's up to, go to her IMDb page and you'll be able to see all of the past, future, and present projects she is working on.
Yay!
Yes, absolutely. Well, I
Thank you.
thank you so much, Angel, for joining me.
Of course, yeah. Thank you for
Yep.
having me.
Not a problem. You have a great rest of your day. All right.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.